This is Robert with Pioneer Smokehouses, and I'm gonna try my hardest to keep this a short video. So what I did to go ahead and make this a short video is I started by pre-cooking the meat in today's video. Now this video's focus is going to be about when meat stops taking smoke. Now years ago, before I started the channel, I wrote an article on a website with the help of a professional writer. So I did the testing and the data and turned that over to them, and they generated the article, and then I proofread it and made sure that their conclusions match my conclusions. And when we talk about when does meat stop taking smoke, my original test was done with 4 chuck steaks, and I did them in different phases. So one was cooked completely on the smoker, and one was cooked half on the smoker, half inside, and the other reverse, to where we did half inside and half in the sous vide and then added to the smoker. What I got for the results was that they all tasted like smoke. It was a little bit different because you get a different smoke taste by the different timing and texture and the different type of smoke that you actually apply to the meat. But what I did learn was that there's always smoke there. I'm going to do a small little test that you can do at home that will show you the same thing. Now what I did was I went ahead and sous vide this meat up to a particular temperature. We're going to start here. This is a chuck roast, and I went ahead and seasoned it like normal. Today I used a little bit of the cowboy seasoning from Spice Hunter and then my standard 3-2-1-1 as a base. And then what I did was I went ahead and put it in here with a couple tablespoons of butter. I think that the butter goes great. Also, Worcestershire sauce is another nice addition in here. And that'll make sure that the meat is soaking in that and its juices, and it'll pick up that flavor, which is an addition that you can't really do inside a smoker. Now I've got the smoker going good, and we're just above 200 degrees, and you can see that the vents are fully open and we're kicking out some smoke here. So we do have some blocks of wood in there, and the charcoal basket is halfway full. I don't need a whole big filling of it, and I'll probably leave the vents open just a little more than I normally would, because we can go at a little bit higher temperature since we have already done most of the breakdown cooking. I'll just set that right there in the middle, and I'm not really going to worry about taking a close-up picture of it, but if we wanted to eat that right now, that would be absolutely perfect, cooked just like a steak, and you just wanted to char it off and it would be done. But what we're going for is we're going for the addition of a nice smoked flavor to it. Now again, when you're doing your smoking, your smoke doesn't get to the very middle of a roast anyway, but we're testing to see that it gets on the outside and gives it that flavor that you're looking for. Right now, we're at 134 on the internal temperature of this roast, and we're gonna push it up just like we would do to a brisket, but we're gonna run it a little bit higher than we would cook a brisket at 225. We're gonna go for somewhere in between 250 to 265. Closer to 265, the better. We got 4 hours to get this thing done, and in 4 hours we should easily be able to get it done and then rest it. And I might even put it back in here, so I'll keep this bag in the hot sous vide, just so that way this is safe to reuse. Everything looks good here. So let's go ahead and take a little break. That'll just be 1 second for you, probably about an hour for me. So it's been about an hour, and I've been checking on it, and the temperature was a little lower than I wanted, so I probably could have added a little bit more lit charcoal, or even added maybe some more pieces of lump on there. But it looked like it was cooking really well, so I didn't really want to change it too much. The one thing I did do was I added a log split. Now that's my standard size, the same size I would use in my offset, which is a 1 inch by 1 inch and 6 inches long. I just placed it directly across the charcoal, and it is smoldering away, and that's why you can see the smoke coming out so well. I'm going to go ahead and open this up so you can get a look in here. Like I said, you can see the smoke is just coming right off of there. If I leave the lid off too long, that smoking is going to stop because the wood's actually going to ignite. I brought out one of my Victorinox knives here, and this is my the Asian slicing knife. I'm going to go ahead and slice a piece off the side. Now again, when I put it out here, it was already cooked to the minimum for a nice medium rare roast. I'm going to go ahead and show you this so you can see what I'm looking at here. And I just, like I said, wanted to slice off a piece and give it a little taste. It does have a light hint of smoke flavor to the outside. Really hasn't soaked in much at this point, but it's there on the outside. It's almost a little bit more like a jerky taste rather than a slow smoke taste. We're going for a lot more than this, and in about a half an hour we're going to pump it up. I really wanted you to be able to get a good look and see how well that smoke is flowing out of there though. And again, leaving the lid off will help that log get ignited, and that will also bump up the temperature a little bit too if that log ignites, which is something that we are going for. But we're going to go ahead and let it ride like this for another hour, and then if I'm not happy with the temperature, I'll pre-light some lump charcoal, some bigger pieces, and toss it in there, and that'll punch that temperature up real fast. So that'll just be 1 second for you and an hour for me. It has been another hour, and I went ahead and lit a couple of pieces of lump charcoal and put them in there, and they weren't huge pieces, but they were definitely good sized pieces, and I put them right in the front so that way they would get going right away. We are in our target temperature of 260 degrees here, and the smoke really mellowed out after the lump charcoal got in there because the fire started burning a lot cleaner. You can see that there's still a little bit of smoke coming in here, but not a lot. I'm going to go ahead and take another little slice off of here. And be careful not to cut into my grill mat. I'm going to bring that up. I want you to see the inside there. And now I'm going to turn it over so you can get a close look. Now this is where I had already sliced it once, and you can see how it's got a lot of that mahogany color there, and that really it's the smoke and grill effect of the whole cooking process. Let's go ahead and take a bite. First of all, it is very warm, but definitely still within a real biteable range, so I don't have to worry about burning myself. And again, there is a smoke flavor there. I took a little bite off the bottom there where it's really forming a crust. Yeah, that's just great. So we got about an hour left on the cooking process here, and more so because dinner's in about an hour and a half. So I probably won't get up to the temperature that I want on the internal on this. But what I think I'll do is I'll stoke up the fire a little bit more, and I'll run the temperature a little bit closer to 275. The higher you try to run the temperature, the harder it is unless you use lump charcoal. And because I went with a light fill and there was just some assorted charcoal pieces in there, I probably will have a real hard time getting it all the way up there. But I'll go ahead and stoke it as soon as I turn the camera off and give it a shot. I will see you in 1 second for you, and probably a little more than an hour for me. So we've been fighting the rain showers all day, and this time we lucked out. But the nice thing is that we are ready to go here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and I'm just going to set this to the side for a second. And I'm going to go ahead and slice off another piece. I'm going to try to take it off another spot, rather than take it off that one spot. I want to get it back here, and there's a reason why, because I kind of want a fresh cut. First thing I want to do is I kind of want to show you this, and I'm going to show it around to you here, and then I'm going to try to also pop a picture up here of a close-up when I get in the house. But there is a clear smoke ring around the edges there, and you can see that. And I'll get in here, and I'm not sure about the lighting, because we had to pull out the canvas here. So yeah, I don't think the lighting's gonna work. So I'll go ahead and pop a picture up there from when I get in the house. But let's just go ahead and give it a try. So not only is there a clear smoke ring, but there is definite smoke flavor through this piece of meat. Now, of course, if I took a bite right in the center, I wouldn't taste any smoke. But that's not really what you're tasting anyway. It's always on the edges. It needs to be cooked just a little bit longer, but we're just gonna roll with it like this. Now, I would probably wanna bring this up and wrap it and let it rest for a while, and that might also help a little bit, but a good cross cut will probably help too. So anyway, I can clearly taste the smoke. So here's the thing. If you wanna do this, go for it. Set your oven, if you don't have a sous vide, set your oven on 225 and cook your roast halfway, and then bring it out and put it on your smoker, and then you can test to find out whether you think meat absorbs smoke all the way through the cooking process. And my answer is clearly it does, but I want you to be able to run the same test at home and get the same result. So halfway in the oven, and then bring it out and put it on your smoker for the second half. I prefer to do it the other way normally, but like I said, this is really just an experiment and a test. So I'm gonna take this in the house and make myself some broccoli and have some for dinner. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you saw anything you like in the video, there'll be affiliate links below. If you use those, I will get compensated, but it won't cost you anything. So again, have a great day. Thanks for watching.